Welcome to Virtual Expat, where we investigate the interplay between living overseas and living online. What happens to our online presence, our online persona, when we change countries? Does anything happen? Does one support the other? Does one conflict with the other? I don't know, but I wanted to find out, so I'm going to interview a lot of expats in order to get to the heart of this question. Is there interplay between our online selves and our geographically varied self? I am very pleased to have Amazon as an affiliate for this podcast. I've lived in the middle of nowhere in the U.S. and I've lived in big cities in the U.S. And in both cases, there are times and situations where I found it really, really useful to use their services. I also have Audible, which I'm a huge audiobook person. And I'm guessing if you're listening to podcasts, you probably are too. With the affiliate program, all you do is shop normally with my affiliate link, and I get a small commission of whatever you buy. That's it. It's that simple. So you can either go to the show notes to find the link, or you can go to stephfuccio, stephfuccio.weebly, weebly.com. Down at the bottom is a button, and you can just press that and go over to my Amazon affiliate page. Whatever you do, whatever you buy, I appreciate you supporting the podcast with this link. May from Intellect Grime. That's the best intro I can come up with. She's amazing. Okay, she's Egyptian. She's studying in the UK. She studies philosophy. She learns languages. She does book reviews online. She talks about philosophy online. She has live streams where people engage about philosophical ideas online. And she's also started to do some videos in Arabic online too. And all of this is just mind-blowing. Why is it mind-blowing? I don't know. I still think of YouTube in its early days with cat videos galore and not much else. And I started to pay attention to YouTube when it became very music-heavy. I would put YouTube on in the background and just listen to it for music. And then I discovered all kinds of things about 2 years ago. The language learning vloggers, the polyglots, and then I discovered a bunch of experts that were putting like their lectures or speeches or things like that online, and it just snowballed from them. Never in a million years did I think I would be totally and completely addicted, which I am, May, to a channel about philosophy and language learning and books. Now, two of those three I'm not very surprised with, but philosophy has been something that's been interesting, but I'm more interested in sociology than philosophy. However, watching how May deals with these conundrums that philosophy dredges up is really, really fascinating. I'm watching, more importantly, the community that she's building and the people that are interested in this converge on her channel during live streams and just in general in the comment section is really impressive. I never in a million years, when YouTube first started, thought that it would grow into something so interesting and so forward-moving. May's channel, Intellect Grime, was recommended on Ophelia Vert's channel, her language learning channel. She is also an amazing YouTuber to check out. I feel like it's female power moment. But anyway, so I checked it out and I was super impressed. And thank you, Ophelia, again for recommending another amazing YouTuber. A couple of more things I want to mention is that May is now the proud co-creator of the VRL acronym, and you'll hear what that is, but if I say IRL, VRL, I think you might get an idea. I think it's a term that needs to exist, so I'm going to use it from here on out, and I strongly encourage the rest of you to do so too. The thing I want to mention has nothing to do with May, although I do hope she participates in this. I have a new YouTube channel called Tube to Pod, and what I want to do in this channel is have micro videos of people answering 3 questions about podcasts. My goal for this channel is to bridge people from YouTube over to podcasts, not to replace their YouTube viewing, but to supplement it with podcasts. A lot of people apparently still are not listening to podcasts, still are unaware of what they are, what they can do with them, what they can learn from them, that kind of thing. So the 3 questions are, 1, where do you listen to podcasts? 2, why do you listen to podcasts? And 3, what is your favorite podcast at the moment? Now, if you're interested in participating in this, you can either post a video under 2 minutes on Instagram with the hashtag TubeToPod, TUBE, TOPOD. Or you can email me your video and I'll post it on the YouTube channel. If you put it on Instagram, I'll record it, copy it over onto the channel. If you send it to me via email, I'll post it over onto the channel. And if you are more tech savvy than clearly I am, and you know a better way how to get other people's videos onto YouTube, please let me know, because right now I'm doing a copy and paste kind of thing. I'll also put the link to the new channel in the show notes below, and hopefully by the time you get there, it'll be flooded with videos from folks. And if it isn't, help me do that. Thank you so much. Let's listen to what May has to say about this IRL VRL interplay when expats change locations. Thank you so much, Mai, for joining us on Virtual Expat. Thank you for having me. Introduce yourself. Thank you.
My name is May. If you can't pronounce that in Arabic, you can call me May. And I'm from Cairo, Egypt, born and raised here for 17 years. And then I moved to the UK for the last few years. So been there for about 2 years, going into my third, to study at university.
And we're clearly taking a very broad approach to the term expat.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting for me to hear like the term expat, and I never thought of myself as an expat, but I guess I would be considered one because I've lived abroad from like not my home country, I guess. So yeah.
And my form of expat isn't even the traditional form where I'm like in a country for a few years and then I intentionally go to a different country. So there's, again, the umbrella expat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because living somewhere outside of your passport country just was not really user friendly. So let's get started. Living outside of your home country is Egypt, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So living outside of there, is it just the UK so far, or have you lived in other places as well?
So I did a course briefly in the US. I was living there for like a month and a half. I don't really count as having lived there. The UK is the first place that I've like moved long term, I would say.
Gotcha. Just out of curiosity, where were you in the US?
I was in Boston.
Oh, that's a good place to end up. That is, yeah.
It's pretty true.
What did you
I love the community there.
Yeah.
I was taking a class at Harvard, and it was just like a summer course.
Yeah.
About sociology, anthropology, that kind of stuff. Like stuff that I don't really get to cover in philosophy, which is a much more refined discipline than I thought it was going to be when I entered. And so I decided to broaden a bit. But it was true.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really nice place to end up. A lot of times when I talk to international students, they're like, they mention places in states that I've heard of, but cities or towns that I've never heard of, like in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, okay. Boston, nice. And you're studying philosophy, right?
Yes.
So we're basically going to kind of do kind of like a chronological snapshot of what you've done online your entire life. Are you ready?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure. So when did you first do stuff online? Like how old?
Okay. I was maybe 13, I want to say. Like,
sure.
When I first got a Facebook account. I really just liked it, to be honest. I'm not a fan of Facebook, and I got it for God knows why, and I still have it for unknown reasons. I'm just kind of over it. But that was the first time I had an online presence, I guess you could say.
Sure. Were you using email before Facebook or after Facebook?
Oh, I did use email before that. I didn't know that counted because it's not, you don't think of it as a very public thing. But yeah, I was using email. I had pen pals from the age of 9, I think.
Wow. Okay. That's an interesting point. Yeah, it's public versus private, because social media would definitely be online. Websites would be something that you're, I'm still working these questions. Sorry. Because I am.
No, they're great questions, honestly. This is a very interesting theme to have for a podcast, I think. Virtual expat.
Because I know the experiences that I've had in different places and how it's changed, but I wanted a space to pick other people's brains and kind of share that with the world too. But yeah, because emails between that one person or a few people, and then social media is definitely much wider, especially if you don't close off your account to certain people. And then websites are something you do that isn't necessarily seen by most people, although there are bots and things that can scrape that information.
Oh, you're going to make me rethink my questions. Okay. Um, so Facebook was first at 13. What were you posting then?
I don't know, like profile pictures, edited profile pictures.
Yeah.
Like just basically what people use Twitter for now was Facebook then. And
Okay.
people would just like put in their, like how they're doing that day or whatever, and like a random thought that came about. But it definitely wasn't as active as it is now, where like you can find so many posts from so many different pages and then like repost them and share them with people. But yeah, I'm kind of over the Facebook. I'm not a fan anymore.
Why? Did anything happen, or just kind of just doesn't attract your interest anymore?
Yeah, I'm just not inspired by the platform. It's very like, it makes you feel like you should be on it because there's so much information on it. There's so many people that are connected through it. But I don't know. I just a bit disillusioned, but I don't have really like a solid reason. I guess I never even wanted an account. Like after having Facebook for a couple of years, I think I actually deactivated my account for a couple more years. And then I was actually forced back into it because my GCSE music class like really needed to get in touch with me through like a platform everyone was on, and Facebook was that platform. I feel like a lot of people have that experience with Facebook where they are forced to use the platform because so many other people are participating in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I want to get out as soon as possible because as well, like the fact that they have all of our information and they're like giving it to companies, and it feels really icky, and like I don't want to be able to be tracked on Facebook, because not that what I do on there is anything controversial. It's just simply like I don't need all my information to be on there.
Yeah. No, I'm noticing a lot of people go on and off the platform a lot. Like that kind of back and forth of, well, I want the information, but I don't want all the other stuff. And I like looking at what people are doing, but it seems like my life sucks. Or there's this kind of like back and forth of different stuff. Yeah. For me, it was more of, I felt like people that I barely knew suddenly had access to really intimate details of my life. And even if I didn't share that stuff, they would share theirs. And I'm like, but I just met you, or I haven't seen you for 20 years. And it was just really like a weird sense of intimacy. I was like, nah, I don't know. So I've been on it for a while, but my husband's still on it. So occasionally he'll like turn his phone around and go, look at this. And I'll be like, no. I mean, like, I'm trying not to get sucked in, damn it. I don't want to know what I'm missing.
Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb for sure. My boyfriend's off of Facebook. I think for a year now he's not been on it. He's very much like addicted to it, and like in the comments, like just arguing with people and not getting anywhere. But like I barely use it. The thing is, I don't think I'm active on Facebook. Like I barely use it.
Yeah. Okay, so after Facebook, what else do you generally do online? Social media or websites or anything?
So I tried to get into the like blogging thing, I think, from a young age, but I don't think it really took off. I didn't know like what platform to use that was like the ideal like blogging platform where I could find cool blogs, but also like have my own blog. And so that was very much like a short fleeting moment in my online presence, like attempting blogging and then like retracting. And
did you start like a few posts and then just kind of abandon it, or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't even remember because it was so fleeting, but I remember everyone being on about like, oh, I have this blog, or like some people online just having all their information on this blog. And it seemed like a really cool idea. It was just not something that I couldn't personally engage with in the way that, say, YouTube completely changed my life. How like when I got on YouTube and the amount of influence like different YouTubers had on my personal development, and then me like aspiring to do that, and then eventually being able to do that. Like YouTube is revolutionary and I love it, but like blogging just was never the same for me.
No. I'm we'll just pretend a hair older than you, and so I blogged because there wasn't anything else online yet.
This is what I mean. It's also it was a very big thing for people who were
Oh, it was huge because there wasn't even social media. I mean, that was it. It was websites, which were really clunky and ugly. And then there were blogs, which were a little prettier, albeit not that pretty for a while. And so, so it ended up being, and when videos got to be on blogs, it was like, oh my God, this is going to change the world. And it did. And then they went off of blogs and onto places like YouTube. And then I'm still amazed when I meet people who are still blogging. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, that still exists because it feels like it's so rare these days.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever get into reading any specific blogs?
No, I think most of the blogs that I interacted with were from YouTube because I am from a much younger generation. I found out about blogging almost through YouTube, which is kind of reversal.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay, wait. When you started YouTube, how old were you then?
A year ago, I was 18.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. You're seriously 19 years old. You are in.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I get that from my friends. They're like, what? How? What? They can't really comprehend it, but yes, I'm 19. I'm going to turn 20 very soon, so.
No. It's so not an insult at all. You're just so damn articulate. I seriously wish I could form things coming out of my mouth the way that you did when I was 19 or 20 years old.
Oh, thank you.
Damn. No, you're welcome. Sorry, I didn't mean that condescending at all.
No, I didn't take it that way. It's just a bit of an awkward topic because what even is age? After a certain point, when you reach a certain conscious state, numbers are nothing.
Yeah. No, people seem to react to age no matter what the age is. When I tell people I'm approaching 47, they're like, oh my God. And every age that I've been in my life, there's always been a, oh my God, something moment. And I'm like, when is that going to end? When I'm 60, please stop caring what comes out of my mouth when I say how old I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't take it personally. I think people just feel the need to have an opinion, myself included, apparently. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So YouTube was a year ago. So wait, when did you start your channel? A year ago?
Yeah, literally a year ago, August 20th.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, this is the end of the summer.
Yeah.
After my first year of university was over, and I was doing this camp thing with a bunch of people. It was really cool. And then in my downtime, I was thinking a lot about I really want to do a creative project. I've been wanting to do one all year, and philosophy really just expanded my mind in a very short period of time, especially in first year because you got to cover so many different topics. Mm-hmm. So I was I felt ready, but I was really underconfident, and I was how am I gonna just break? Because there's so much stigma around YouTube, I feel as well. Mm-hmm. As much as it's awesome and the people who are on it really love it, there are a lot of people who have a very particular view of what it means to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And the judgment or the shame that kind of goes into the idea that maybe you want to be seen or heard, and how maybe that's a bit self-inflated and how self-involved, and I don't want to be associated with that in any way, but I do want to have an influence on people and share my ideas and get some feedback and have discourse. Mm-hmm. So it was really difficult to step or think past that, but I'm so glad I did it in 1 year. I'm so glad that I've met people like you and so many other people. It's awesome.
I could not agree with you more. I used YouTube for years as a very passive person, just watching videos, mostly music videos. I had no idea there was this intelligent side to YouTube. I was I just need something to, kind of empty my brain out at the end of a stressful day. And then when I started studying Chinese last year, I started looking for videos explaining things in Chinese, not in Chinese, about the language. And I ended up running across a bunch of language learning vloggers, and then the avalanche happened. And then I saw people like Ophelia Vert and all these people, and I was like, oh, people are talking about this. People are watching their channel. Wait, there's an audience for talking about language? Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it led me to all kinds of different stuff that was on the not just fun side of YouTube, but on the intelligent brain scratching side, and I just went, oh my God, seriously.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much is out there. And I'm really glad you're doing it, because it seems like there are mostly men doing it. And so I'm glad. I don't like doing the men versus women thing, but there's so few of us out there. So I'm going to do it anyway.
I mean, I think, for each like topic or like big theme where there's a community surrounding it, a lot of the time there are like just some really big names, and a lot of them are men, and you don't really see, especially like non-white women as well. I feel like a lot, it's very dominated by like just the Caucasian populace, which is super chill, but like at the same time, I just don't see that many quote unquote people of color like just talking about the same things, because it's not like we have completely different experiences that we can't contribute to the same discussions. It's just we don't have the confidence, I feel, or like the social encouragement to do these things.
Right. No, that's a really, really good point. I mean, because there's different languages on YouTube, different languages used. And so there really wouldn't be a reason other than not feeling like it's a platform that is meant to have folks outside of us pasty white folks. So why? God, I hadn't even thought about that.
It's chill. I actually really want to start talking about this stuff on my channel, but it's really a big thing to like kind of change lanes a bit to talk about like social issues.
Yeah. I wonder, because I've looked up like gender wise, I've seen stuff on like the stats of the male versus female viewership and that kind of thing, and I've seen like age demographics, but I haven't really seen ethnicity demographics or even necessarily country demographics. That would be interesting. Oh, thank you. You've just given me some research to do.
Please let me know how that research turns out, because I just, from my own experience, I just have barely seen any Arab women like on YouTube. And so it's very like, it was just such a bigger deal than in my head, like it was such a bigger deal than it was to actually just start a channel, because I just never seen Arab women on YouTube. And then ever since like being on the platform, because I was also a very passive viewer for like years and years and years. And at first, YouTube was like, I didn't watch anything intelligent on there. And then I discovered like BookTube, and then I discovered there's such a there's a really big like community of readers on YouTube that just share the books.
I need to find out about this stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, they're really into like book hauls, and it's really big in like young adult fiction. So when I was like reading a lot of young adult fiction, most of my recommendations were coming from YouTube.
That's so cool.
There are so many different communities that are amazing. And discovering the language community was what like did it for me. I was like, okay, it's time. Like this is active, it's young, it's fresh, it's happening now. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna crawl in there.
Bookstagram on Instagram. Are you on that thingy?
So recently, I have been using my story to share like my books and stuff, but the Intellect Grime, like my artistic account, doesn't have any book posts. Like I don't take pictures of books I've gotten and just make a post about that particular book, just because I want to share art and poetry and stuff. So I've been using my story to share books, which is cool. Yeah, like I didn't know about Bookstagram until I realized like the booktubers usually also have an Instagram, and they probably also share books on there. So that's basically, I feel, what Bookstagram is. It's just the Instagram version of BookTube.
Well, yeah, and I didn't realize that Bookstagram was the thing until I was doing a live stream, and Tom Reed, I think that's his name. Yeah, he was mentioning it just as part of a sentence, and I'm like, stop. What is Bookstagram? We need to talk. What? Yeah. And Studygram and all these things. And I'm like, wait, there are people taking pictures of what they're studying and posting it online. That is so up my notes. I can do that. It's like bullet journal heaven on there. I don't do a bullet journal. I do lists, but I appreciate that people put them on there, because at some point I may venture over. It could happen. So you mentioned that you have an Intellect Grime Instagram account and then a personal account?
Yeah, I do have a personal account that I've been very inactive on. I don't really use it very much because I don't like posting selfies, and so I only ever post like cool like photographs or whatever, and now I put most of that on Intellect Grime, so I'm really inactive on my personal account.
What was your intention in having the two?
I started my Instagram really late to the game. Like, so many people had Instagram way before I had Instagram, and I was not a really big fan of the idea of it or anything. And then when I finally got it, I was like, okay, I kind of see the appeal, and like, okay, I might try it. And it's more to like watch the people that I know, like what they're up to and on their stories and like personal events and stuff, and like their photos, and if they've graduated, they'll post something or something like that. But then I started into like grime. I'm not sure honestly if I started right before my YouTube channel started or right after, but they were very much like related to each other, because I knew that I wanted to post poetry. I knew that I wanted to pair it with some sort of art or film related thing. And yeah, they were just kind of connected in that way.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to be somewhat anonymous. I didn't want people to like know my last name or anything, be able to like look me up on Facebook. Goes back to Facebook always.
Yeah. Facebook stress. let's go back and put some places on this. So the Facebook at 13 years old, that was clearly in Egypt. The blog moment was clearly in Egypt. But the YouTube, that was after your first year in the UK, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was reading your questions, I found it really interesting because I never correlated my own like online presence and like my confidence to do that with the fact that I had moved. I always correlated just with the fact that I built confidence and like got a bit older at university and my experiences at university. But
sure.
that was also had to do with my location, I guess.
Right. It may or may not. I'm totally taking a stab at a dark with the intersection of living somewhere else and our online list. There may not be any effect at all, and I could, disband the sucker in a couple months. I don't know.
Oh, please don't. It seems like it's going to come out with like some really interesting conversations with people.
It may. Well, it is now, clearly. But, well, if there was an effect that being in the UK and studying there for a year would have had or might have had on your confidence level to do the YouTube channel, what would it have been? My God, that was the longest question in the world. But
it was well put, grammatically correct. It was good. I'm not sure what it would have been, honestly. Like, I guess just being where, I mean, there is somewhat of a correlation because in Egypt, we don't really have the best internet connections and we don't really have the best just like access to online things. Actually, there are lots of websites. Recently, we found out that Al Jazeera is like blocked in Egypt. Like you can't access the news. Like one of the most reliable sources of news about like the Middle East and stuff in this country. And that's insane. But I feel like a lot of people are demotivated by that and by the fact that they don't see a lot of like Egyptian YouTubers doing it from Egypt or like in Arabic or anything. I feel like it's a bit, demotivating to not see representation, and then also to have like bad internet connection, not be able to do the stuff as easily and have access to technology. And it's mostly about access. I think when I saw that, the internet connection in the UK is amazing and people are like, there are a lot of big YouTubers that live in London or near London. And I was like very motivated by the fact that, hey, I'm near London, like I could do this, it's closer to me. I feel like the accessibility was more present there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get that. I live in China. I live by my VPN until it gets really strict. Like half the country is online doing stuff they shouldn't, I think. At least, in a tier 1 city like Shanghai, Beijing, that kind of thing, a lot of people have VPNs. A lot. I can't speak for like outside of those cities. And definitely not in the countryside. I think the internet's not as good. But definitely in those cities, it's so common. It's ridiculously common. I have conversations with locals about which VPNs we're using at the current moment and what works best. And it's like, wait, this is illegal. Why are we having this conversation?
No, but it makes sense. When there's something to access, people want to access it.
Yeah.
People want to,
And there's a lot of Chinese young people in their 20s and 30s who have already been abroad and came back, and they know what they're missing, and they want to keep in touch with the stuff that they started using when they were overseas.
Yeah.
Okay, so YouTube and So Instagram was fairly recent then. You said you were a late.
Yeah, also pretty recently. Like probably I've only been on Instagram for a year using the Intellectgram account, and then before that, maybe 2 years or 3 years on Instagram.
Okay. 2 to 3.
I mean, I deleted the app several times, not my account, but the app, because it's very addicting.
Yeah.
It's not good for you, and like, it's just social media. Like there's this good side of it where it's like you're connected to people and you get feedback and you get conversations and really interesting stuff happening, really interesting information being shared. But then you get addicted and you get just like, you feel bad and you compare yourself to other people who are doing like better than you with like the numbers and the statistics and all that stuff. And it's always the question of, is it worth it? And I'll only keep going as long as it's worth it, you know?
Yeah. How do you measure that worth? How do you measure if it's adding more to your IRL than your online life? Wait, IRL's in real life. Do we have an acronym for online life? Damn it, we need an acronym.
Yeah.
Wait, IRL, online real life. ORL? I think we've got to start with ORL. So how do you balance your IRL and your ORL?
That's a good question. How do I balance it? I mean, recently I've been using an app called Moment, and it tells me how many times I picked up my phone that day and how many minutes I've been on my phone that day. No. And the other day, actually, like maybe a few days ago, I was on my phone for 5 hours. 5 hours. And the average human checks their average person with a smartphone will check their smartphone 150 times a day. 150 times. And so like that day with the 5 hours, I probably checked it around 100 times. But ever since then, like ever since that day, I've just been like staying away from my phone and under an hour each day, and like not picking it up. Well, trying not to pick it up more than like twice an hour, because there are all these micro distractions that like stop us from doing stuff IRL, like you were saying. So I don't know how to measure its worth, to be honest. I have no idea.
I just made a note to myself to look at that app.
Moment. It's great. It's really, really great.
Awesome. Is it a paid app or a free app? Because I'm a free app.
I think it's free, yeah. And then it'll just show you right here.
Cool. Oh no, it's all.
But it'll tell me like I've been on my phone for 37 minutes and I picked up 21 times today. So that way I can like kind of just keep myself in check.
Yeah, I knew there were apps that could like block out the internet or could stop you from using certain things for certain periods of time. Like you could set it to stop that, especially on computers. I knew those existed, but I didn't realize there was stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, those are really useful tools, and I feel like it's just the companies that are making these apps are completely oblivious, or maybe they're actually intentionally trying to get people addicted, but they're oblivious to like the greater impact that this like has on society. We're all stuck to our phones, and it's almost like a virtual reality we're participating in, and then how are we going to get out of it if and the fact that it can influence like stuff like elections, and we've seen that happen a couple of years ago, and it's insane. Like our technology should not have that kind of power over us, and so I'm trying to just make sure it doesn't have that kind of power over me individually.
Hey expats and geopats, what do you do with the annoying paper mail that you get to your old addresses in your home country? For a few years I'd have all of my mail forwarded to one friend, and then I'd feel guilty for bothering them so much. So then I'd have a family member deal with my mail and so on and so forth. And I did this for about 12, 13 years. And it got annoying, and let's face it, I miss some mail because people have better things to do than look after my paper correspondence. So I finally broke down and got a service from Traveling Mailboxes. They will literally receive your mail. You get a US address. You get to pick the city that it's in, and you receive mail. And they'll let you know when mail comes in They'll open it, scan it for you so you can read it. If you really need to, they'll forward it to you for a fee. You can also get packages delivered as well. And so there's like a variety of different services that you can have where you don't have to keep bugging your friends and family to deal with your paper mail. So if you go to stephfuccio.weebly.com, it's stephfuccio.weebly, weebly.com. If you go to the bottom, you'll see the blue ad on the right, traveling mailbox. Click on that. I am now in an affiliate program with them, so if you join their services, we both end up very, very happy campers, and you never have to ask your friends or family to receive your mail again. It's truly a beautiful thing.
So many people, like I've been chilling with my cousin who's going off to university for the first time, like abroad this in the next few weeks, and always on her phone. Like basically 90% of her waking hours during the summer, at least when she has nothing else to do,
Right.
she's on her phone, and it's just scrolling. It's not even like, it's just too much information. We're just scrolling and like allowing our phones to just come out with whatever is online at the moment. And then how does that affect your psychology, and how does that affect other facets of your life and the things that you're not like pursuing because you're on your phone, like watching other people and how they've been doing. And it's just,
it's so hard. See the problem. Yeah. Oh gosh. It's so hard because I want to be a defender of technology, because I think the tiny computers we have in our pockets now are amazing. I grew up without computers. I didn't have my first laptop until like my mid-20s. I had a beeper. That's how much of this trajectory I've been on. And I want to believe that we can be smart digital citizens. And then I see what most people are doing. And sometimes myself, I see what I'm doing. And I'm like, the excuse is I have my audio recordings for studying Chinese on my phone, so I have to turn it on. And I ignore those notifications.
It's good to just turn all the notifications off, I think. Notifications are probably the devil. Like, they just pop up and they make, like, they seem like they're important, but they're not. Like, I truly believe the real world, the IRL, is just so much more important than the online. And even though the online can contribute so much and can affect people so much in a positive way, and like I obviously believe in it enough to like be contributing to some of the online noise, but I just feel like there's so much of it. It's just a bit too overpopulated. It's so much, and you can't process that much information in a day, and so it's good to limit that.
The biggest app that I use in China is this app called WeChat. And it's basically like Facebook on steroids, but everybody uses it for work, for fun, for groups, like everything's on there. And a lot of the people I meet in person communicate via this app. So it's like I have to check it to make sure that this person's going to show up at this time at this place, or that this group is meeting next week, or that there's an in-person thing that's directly connected to it. So I have to constantly be checking it. It's hard, but I do think as of right now, I think that the positive stuff that comes from it is better for me personally than the negative stuff that comes from it. But it is very easy to slip into just our ORLs. I know why this is not an acronym. It's too hard to say.
I don't think that R makes sense because it's like real. It's not real. It's like VRL, like virtual reality life. Like,
oh, there you go. That's much easier to say too. The IRL, VRL. Okay, good. Thank you. So I don't even know what I was saying, but that is a much better one.
I think it's like so important that it's valuable for you, like as long as you're getting some value out of it individually. I think socially it's problematic, but because of like the IRL things being controlled by the VRL. I actually really like this new acronym now. I'm gonna start using it. I'm gonna spread it.
Make it a thing, yeah. So with Intellect Grime, the YouTube channel, why did you start it? Who were you hoping to talk to?
Ooh, that's a great question. Who was I hoping to talk to? I mean, I share the dream for me was to share my poetry, and like it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but like I really care about my poetry, and I think that I would love to one day like publish a collection of poetry or something. But I also had like a lot of other things I wanted to do, from inspired by a lot of other people on YouTube that I saw, and I was just like taken away by, and I was like, I could do something like that, or maybe just not as good, but I'll just do more and it'll be fine. I obviously wanted to talk to the language community because I found that they were just so young, so vibrant. I was just starting to learn a new language for the first time, and I was like taking it very seriously. I found Polyglot Progress, I found Ophelia Vare, and they just inspired me so much to just go for it and to learn as much as possible, and like just, you know, keep at it. And so I wanted to talk to them and just like the people in their communities, but I also wanted to talk to just anybody who cared more about like thinking than they cared about not thinking. Like there are a lot of people who are willing to be just like passive throughout life and just, you know, be on their phones all the time without really thinking about what they're absorbing, and people who are willing to just like, I don't know how to put this is a really difficult question actually.
No, I think you're being very, very articulate about this. I keep hearing the word awake in social media for like being conscious of what we're experiencing, what we're doing, why we're doing it, that kind of thing. And I don't know, because I'm so far from the folks that are using it in the US, that I don't know if that's their intention, but I like that idea of what that means.
It's a good term to use, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I know what you mean. You wanted to have conversations that matter. You wanted to talk about stuff that is worth thinking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely what I want. And I looked up to so many different people who were doing that. And I was like, these people are amazing. But I would always see the channels that were doing the like mindless things were so much more successful than these channels that are actually working hard and producing really, really, really good quality things. Yeah. They just had such a smaller following. And I was like, you know, it doesn't matter about, as long as there are more people doing that, the more people are likely to find it. That's what's important. We just have to like do more of what we want to see. Yeah. So I just want to see more thought-provoking stuff. I want to see more people interested in talking about books and talking about like progressing themselves as people and growing and doing their best and evolving and like learning.
Yeah. And so that's kind of who you thought you were talking to. Who did it end up being? Have you had a lot of interaction with your audience so far? Wait,
I have. I just ended up being the most wonderful like collection of people. Like we're basically like 200 people now, which is amazing. And like all of them are just so lovely and sweet and are just really, really, really interesting. They all have like really interesting things to contribute to the discussion. I always like read through a comment and I'm like, wow, I could not have put that any better. And like that just added so much to like the value of my conversation, the fact that other people are actually engaging with it. Yeah. So I'm just like really pleased with who's found my channel and decided to stick around. And I'm very surprised about the fact that there are so fewer trolls on YouTube. Yeah. Whenever because obviously the first people you see on YouTube are the most popular ones, because those are the ones you have access to the quickest. They are always complaining about trolls and like people who don't really care about their videos, people who just comment like garbage. And I didn't want that. And I was like so nervous, and it like disincentivized me from making a channel for so long. But I'm so thankful to like all the people who have engaged, you know?
Yeah, I had a full-on stalker when I blogged. So I was really hesitant to even enable comments on YouTube when I started a year and a half ago. Oh. But it's gotten way easier to deal with folks. Like I've only had 2 comments that I thought were kind of crap and needed to not exist. And you can delete them as the person that owns the channel. You just delete them and it's done. You don't need to ask the person to go, you know, whatever with themselves or anything. You just delete them and they're gone. And they haven't come back to do any other things. And I'm just like, cool. That is so much better than a friggin' stalker that lives in the same city. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the stalker thing is a bit
creepy. I was offline for a really long time after that. Well, offline except for email, because that's more of the private part of it all. But yeah, I took a lot of stuff offline because it was not good. But it was early on during all of this stuff, and I don't think people understood how bad things could be when you have that kind of access. And I feel like although bullying and stuff happens and there are situations like that still, I think it's gotten a lot better than it used to be, I think.
Yeah, but I still don't think we've developed an online etiquette in any way. Like, we have no idea what's acceptable. Like, people are still oversharing. People are still, like, expecting a lot from the people that have shared anything at all. And, like, it's really difficult because we have very clear, like, social etiquettes that in each culture we just agree upon the certain things. This is acceptable, this is unacceptable. Sometimes there's a gray area, but online, like first of all these cultures are mashed up together, and so there's that conflict. But then there's no way to, like, we don't want censorship, but we want people to be respectful, and it's a difficult, like, balance.
No, this keeps coming up again and again and again, and I think it's part of the messiness of the internet still, is that we're kind of drunk on the opportunity, but we haven't really agreed on what we're doing yet with all of this. Like, what does that look like? Like, is it like a course or a training session, a weekend, a day, an hour? Like, do you need, before you sign online for the first time, whatever that may be, wherever that is, do you have to, like, click through a bunch of, I agree not to be an idiot, I agree not to harass someone, I agree not to post pictures of my X, Y, and Z, just like different things, what we agree not to do to each other online. Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
I don't really listen to that many podcasts. I used to listen to a lot more. First of all, my auditory skills are my worst sense, I'm pretty sure. But also, it's really difficult for me to process information that I just hear. I need to, like, see something. I'm very much a visual learner, so I prefer video. But I think it's an amazing, like, format, because I think it's just because dialogue, it's just captured exactly the way it was said, and then other people have access to that, and then there's almost like an internal dialogue going on, responding to every single point made. Podcasts are amazing. I just don't have I don't also have the time to, like, play them, because I feel like I need to sit down and listen to one, like, properly.
No,
I know a lot of people are like, I'll just put on a podcast and, like, do my dishes, or, like,
yeah. Well, this is not meant to be podcast guilt. Absolutely not. The reason why I asked that is because no shame. I do multiple medium because it fits into different parts of my life during the day. Because we're talking about this VRL etiquette. Looking down at my notes over here. VRL etiquette, which is almost going to turn into a YouTube channel that we'll have to do together, apparently. There's this podcast called, and you think I'm kidding. There's a podcast called Conversations with People Who Hate Me, by this wonderful gentleman called Dylan Marin. And it came up accidentally in this podcast brunch group that I'm in. And yes, I am in a brunch group for podcasts, like book club, but with podcasts. And what he basically does is, when people harass each other online, he gets the person that was harassed, the person that did the harassing, and he gets them to talk to each other in the podcast.
Oh, that's so interesting.
The coolest thing ever. I nearly screamed and, like, ran out and, like, flew to where he was to hug him. I was like, I didn't even realize this needed to exist until I heard him doing it. And I was like, oh, but it's part of that thing of, he has this phrase, like, remember, there's always a person on the other side of that computer. Like, you're talking to a person. And that's part of that agreement.
Unless it's a robot. Sometimes they're robots. They're just bots, like, typing stuff.
But generally, when the people get aggressive and say mean things, it's towards somebody who's being vulnerable and open in some way. And the bots don't do that as much.
Yeah, that's true. That's so interesting. And I love how innovative people are being with their podcasts, because you can it's just like a small, like, topic or like a specialized thing that you're really interested in, and then you get to explore like so much of it over like weeks and weeks, sometimes years, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really,
I'll
really,
definitely
really interesting.
check that one out. Conversations with
I will email it to you. You were doing Instagram before you went to the UK.
In the general area. I don't want to be too specific.
The Greater London area.
Yeah.
So you were doing YouTube about then, and you're in Egypt for the summer now, right? Are you keeping up with your YouTube subscriptions while you're there?
What do you mean by that? Am I still making videos and like editing and posting and stuff?
Yeah, and also watching the stuff that you generally watch.
Oh, I'm definitely like active as a consumer, as a like as an audience member on YouTube. I have been for so long, and like it's just I love finding new channels as well. Like I really appreciate when I find just like this new human who has made so many things over several years. And usually when I get interested in a topic, I'll like look it up on YouTube, and I'll find so many videos of people who are also interested in that topic. So my most recent obsession has been minimalism. I read like 3 books, and they were all like eye-opening and inspiring and stuff. And then I just like went on YouTube and saw like where are the minimalists at, and they are amazing. They're just like they're sharing their ideology and their philosophy, and just like creating these communities of people that they can share ideas with. And so no matter what the topic is, there's gonna be like hundreds of videos about it, which I love. I love doing that, and I love like finding the specific personalities that I want to continue to follow, and like turn on that notification bell, and then like turn off my subscription button.
I love it when my subscription button lights up. I'm like, time for a new video. Let's go. But yeah, minimalism. Somebody just recommended a minimalist podcast to me last week, and I listened to the first episode today, and it's awesome. But it was like 3 hours long, and I kept staring at the podcast going, okay, an hour I'm used to, 45 minutes is easy. 3 hours is a commitment. I may have to come back a few times. But I didn't expect to see if every episode that they have is 3 hours, but that particular one was. It was so interesting. I'll probably actually finish at least that episode. Cool. But on the minimalist side, I'm addicted to, and this is such a guilty pleasure, tiny apartments and tiny houses.
Oh, tiny houses? Yeah.
More so the apartments than the houses, but I do appreciate the houses. And there are some pretty amazing tiny apartments around the world. Tokyo and Paris seem to have the more kind of really, really smart interior design where there's everything just super condensed.
Yeah.
I love watching it. I saw one in New York City last week where the guy had his arms on both walls, and that was the width of the apartment. And it still had everything. I would be like, I would rent that. If I was a single person in New York City, I would rent that in a heartbeat.
Amazing. That's so cool. Like that's tiny. Like that's way tinier than I would expect, though. Like to be able to fit all of the essentials. I mean, I'm about minimalism, but I feel like minimalism is a bit like more nuanced, where it doesn't have to be tiny. It just has to be like enough for the person. Yeah. So it depends on the person, but also especially in like New York and Tokyo and Paris and like just really big cities, it just saves a lot on rent. Like you really don't need that many things. You really don't need that much space as long as you're comfortable. And you have the things that you do need, like save money on rent. Like you don't have to get the bigger house just because you have a bigger income. Like,
exactly.
Not on travel or something. Yeah.
I'm totally. I think in tickets. I think in flight tickets. Wait, you spend that much on rent? You could pay half of that and then take a flight every 3 months. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah,
that's a vacation. What?
How long have you been living in Shanghai?
This time around, it's about 1.5 years. But I've lived overseas for the majority of the past 15 years in different countries. And
that's so cool.
It is what it is. I was too restless to be at home. My parents put me on a plane when I was 4, and it kind of wrecks you. I couldn't really stay in America after that. I was like, yeah, we're the best place on earth. Sure. But I know that place is over there, and I think there's more. So yeah. Yeah.
What have been your favorite like countries that you've lived in?
That's so hard because there's like different things that I like about different places.
Yeah.
Food, and because I taught for a long time, so the food and my students, definitely Vietnam, hands down. A million times. In the north, not south, people are preferential. But definitely for opportunities and innovation, China. Sure. This is the place that has absolutely the most. Most places I've been to, especially in Asia, the opportunities have been within the tiny area of education or even smaller teaching English. But China right now is so bursting at the seams with literally everything that there's so many opportunities outside of all that it's just ridiculous. Like, I should be looking for a new job right now, and I'm not, because I know I'll start getting very distracted and stop studying, and I've got another test in December, and I'm like, I have to focus. But it's just ridiculous how bursting this place is right now. For general quality of life and people and the gorgeousness of men pre-marriage, pick your location in Latin America. I hate to sound so stereotypical, but just slower, more friendly, just very laid back and very in front of you. At least back then when I went to a few different countries, nothing's ever going to top that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. That's awesome. I really want to travel to Latin America, but I need to learn some Spanish. Like I can't go and not be able to speak their language. Like I just
Yeah.
My mom is learning Spanish at the moment, and so she's an amazing language learner, by the way. I don't think I mentioned it enough on my channel, but she's such an inspiration. Like she's like C1 French. Yeah. And then because that's basically her first language, and then she gets obviously very fluent in English and Arabic. Yeah. But then also she's learned Spanish, she's learned Dutch, she's learned a bit of German, just so many languages. Wow. She's actually really excited to learn Mandarin soon, so I might recommend your channel to her.
Oh no, we want her to want to do it, not to
It's so inspiring though. Like you already are going into like HSK 3 or 4, and it's amazing.
3 and very slowly. Oh my God. Although I can finally read. Thank God. My gosh. Yeah, this language is a bit much. Yeah, it's crazy. That's really exciting though. Was that like a hobby, or did she do it for like professional reasons, or just?
No, it's purely a hobby, I think. And like she's progressed in so much for something that was just a hobby, just for fun, just so that she can talk to, like if she hears somebody speak a language that she must speak. Oh, hello there. Like, what's up?
Well, hey, wait, since we're talking about language, is most of the stuff you do online in English, in Arabic, or is it mixed?
Actually, most of the stuff I do online is in English.
Yeah.
The Arabic online sphere, I feel like, is really inaccessible even to people who speak Arabic. I follow a few like YouTubers that do Arabic videos, and like those are probably the most accessible things because it's just someone speaking. Like you can just listen and absorb the information and then make a comment or something. But in terms of like reading like our websites or anything, they're just like made really badly, I want to say. Like maybe not, it's just not very easy to like find that kind of stuff online in Arabic, I feel. Maybe it's because my Arabic is not as good as it should be, which I'll admit it's definitely not. But also whenever I like encounter an Arabic website, it's just the layout is not user friendly. It's very basic. It's very like 20 years ago, like when the internet was starting out. That's what like the websites still look like when they're in Arabic. Usually that's what I find. Only like bilingual websites will be a bit better in terms of layout and like accessibility and stuff. Since I don't really engage in blogs in English, I don't in Arabic either. So, but my online, I really want to do more stuff in Arabic though, like especially videos, like really short thoughts in Arabic, because it'd be a good way to maintain it while I'm away.
Yeah. Can I ask, what was your first language or languages to
Yeah, so Egyptian Arabic was my first language. Like that's the only language I spoke up to like the age of 4.
Okay.
And then I went to school, an international school, and they taught me English. And so by the age of like 6, I was just like talking away in English to people who, and my sister actually used to have like a really thick Egyptian accent when she spoke in English until I learned English. And then we started talking to each other. Yeah. And so that's how we kind of maintained and progressed our languages together.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Chinese websites that you do about websites in Arabic. They're you go to them and there's like 200 things hitting you at once. And I've gotten comfortable with the script, even if I can't read it now. Like, it doesn't freak me out anymore. Like, I used to go to Chinese websites and just go, no, and shut them down because it was just so overwhelming. And that doesn't happen. But they squeeze so much on a page. Yeah. And Chinese is a more condensed language. You don't need as many words for the same meaning. Like, the characters actually hold a lot more meaning than words do. So why they're so busy with so many characters all over, like every single place you could have a menu or a pop-up or a picture moving and something, it's like Disneyland squished into an inch of space.
Yeah, it's just difficult to navigate. Like if you're not just so familiar with either that website already or like what you're looking for. Yeah. You can't just like be browsing and like on the internet. No. In that language, it's very difficult. No. I feel like definitely English is the language of the internet. Yeah. Most of the stuff going on the internet is going on in English. Ooh.
Well, that brings up the question of exclusion, though, because for folks who can't navigate English yet or ever, are they completely locked out of all the stuff that makes us giddy when we find it online?
Absolutely not. Like most of the best websites that started in English, I feel like they've developed like other options. So you can choose like, I want this in German, or I want this in Arabic even, or I want this in French. And like, you'll find the same website with the same layout, but its starting point was just an English language. Like maybe, again, I haven't done the research. I'm not as versed in like the internet as I feel like at least you are, but I don't think that it's necessarily exclusionary. It's kind of where things started in America, like with the internet, like literally. So when people were first starting out, and the thing is, English websites used to be just as difficult to navigate and kind of just ugly. Like YouTube used to be an ugly page.
Ugly. Oh.
Yeah. Yes. And then it came together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point. Because even just in China, there are a ton of video websites, like a ton of them. YouTube is blocked unless you have a VPN, but even some days it's a little tricky. So they have UQ and all these other ones I can't think of right now. But there are a bunch of them. And there's a bunch of newer ones that are just like kind of the video side of Instagram, where it's just 10 and 15 second videos. Like that's all it holds.
Okay, interesting. So it's like Vine, almost.
I don't know Vine. What is Vine?
Vine was awesome when it was the thing. It was like 10, 15-second videos, and usually like funny and just a bit meaningless, but just for fun. People would do like gags and stuff, and very short. Like,
I think I would have liked that. Was that around for a long time? How did I miss that?
I mean, if you were living abroad, I would understand. It's actually very active in the Arab community. Vines were really big, and there were a lot of Arab Viners.
Viners, that's awesome. I'm a Viner VRL. I love that VRL. I'm sorry, this is going to be a thing.
We have a few different ways that you can feedback. So if you go to stephfuccio.weebly.com/contact, let me do that a little slower. stephfuccio.weebly.com/contact. You'll see all kinds of ways you can contact me and let me know what you think of this podcast. I have email, WeChat if you're in China, Twitter, LinkedIn, and my new favorite thing is SpeakPipe. Over on the right-hand side of that page, you'll be able to leave a sound recording, basically a voice message. You just hit the start recording button that's in bright orange. I can also respond in a voice message there as well. It's a really, really cool feature. I can't believe they have this available for free, but until they get smarter about that, I'm going to take advantage of it because it is such a cool feature. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your input.
When you're in England and when you're back in Egypt, do you find yourself still, I know you're still watching stuff passively, do you find yourself still kind of reaching out to folks in the same way on social media? Do you find yourself going to the same websites? Is there a big difference between what you do online?
I mean, when I'm in England, I'm at university, so I'm obviously like researching a lot more when I'm in England. Mm-hmm. But in terms of my engagement, I think just once I've started engaging for the first time, it was just like a floodgate that opened. Once I realized that I can leave a comment and the person who made the video can actually read that comment and actually like it or heart it or then respond to me. Yeah. That just like changed my mindset entirely. And I was like, why was I being so passive for so long? I could have been active and people could have, considered my ideas as well with their videos. And like, I can give people compliments and they can like make their day or whatever and put a smile on their face. Like it was just such a like positive thing once I started being active online. And so I don't really stop when I come here, though I do get distracted, and so I try to spend less time online as well when I'm here. Sure. But that's it. I don't think my websites really change very much between like locations or countries.
No, that's a good point. I think there's a lot more people just watching and consuming stuff online than actively participating in stuff. What can we do to increase their participation?
I don't know. I mean, all the YouTubers are saying like, comment, subscribe, and they just put the comment in the middle of the like and the subscribe. And I think the like and the subscribe is going to happen anyway if they like and they want to subscribe. So they should just be like, engage, just I want to hear your thoughts, and that being the main thing that's emphasized. There's this amazing woman on YouTube. Her name is Julesy, or her channel is called Julesy. She's African American, and she talks a lot about like African American issues, and she does like, I guess she called her community this, or she has like a project that she's named like Smart Brown Girl. And her community is like smart brown girls, whether or not they're girls or brown or smart, but like she wants engagement from her channel basically. And I feel like her engagement is so much higher than most channels, like at least from what I've seen of other channels of a similar size, like and the reason is maybe that she always starts the video as well by saying, we're trying to get our engagement up, don't just watch and sit there passively, like go down into the comments and leave me something to think about, like what if, like respond to what I'm saying, don't just and she really, really emphasizes it. And I think we just need to emphasize that more if we want more engagement.
I am subscribed to her channel. I am.
You are?
Yeah. I thought it was her, but I think I watched a video of hers last week on why more African American women don't travel in Africa. I think that was her.
Yeah, that sounds like her. She does so many different things about so many different topics. And
do you think a lot of creators want to get feedback? I know they might say like, comment, subscribe, but do you think most of them want to hear back?
I can't speak for them, to be honest, but I don't feel like most of them, if they're not already making content that is thought-provoking, that it like requires a lot of research, that requires a lot of hard work to like be put into it, if they're just making kind of surface level content, they might not want critical feedback to improve like the quality of their videos. They might just want feedback about like what the next video that they want, like that the audience wants to see is, or that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. So as a creator, do you feel any pressure to talk to your audience in multiple platforms to kind of be just like spread the information all around and keep up with all that stuff?
Yes, I feel so much pressure to do that. I literally made a Facebook page for Intellect Grime.
Yeah.
Like for this reason, even though I don't like Facebook, even though I don't use Facebook, and even though like I know that it's not gonna be fun for me to do that. And I started off with just YouTube and Instagram, and to this day I've only really been active on those two platforms. I still put that link for Facebook on some of the in some of the descriptions of my videos, and I still see that like, oh, Intellect Grime has like a couple of new views today, but it's because I'm not active on there that people don't really stay around or actually like that page. But I feel the pressure to like be everywhere, like you said, and to like update everything. And I think it's so needless. Like, why? If I'm just on this one platform, then people will know where to find me. It's just easier for them as well.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I like the thing in Instagram when you post where you can check off different places and then it'll post it there for me, because I feel like that takes care of a lot of it. But then they don't have some other places that I apparently have stuff. And I don't even go to all the places that I post through Instagram. I just post, which I think is slightly irresponsible because I'm certainly not building a community there. I don't like Tumblr is one of the options. Apparently at some point I signed up for Tumblr. I never go to Tumblr. I don't even know what Tumblr looks like. And I'm posting over there and occasionally I will get new followers and I'm like, you poor thing. Can you come over here where I actually communicate with people? Because I don't actually use Tumblr. I don't have its app. I just think I went a little crazy at first and signed up for everything because I definitely feel that pressure and because you see so many creators, because they probably have people to take care of that for them, right?
Like
that's true.
They're on so many different platforms, and when they share a video they also share it on Facebook and they also share it on Instagram, and then they have like a little like short version on their story of the video so that you can get like a sneak preview and really want to go watch the video. And like I feel like all that stuff is for way later, like for when you're really trying to grow past like tens of thousands. Like, no, I'm so tiny, and I don't know why I still feel so much pressure to do that. I'm actually going to delete the Facebook page because I'm going to deactivate my account. I'm going to be like, guys, don't check this, and I'm going to go back through all my descriptions and delete that Facebook link and be like, why did I even try to do that?
It's just tricky because I don't want to get a lot of subscribers. I want to get people that are doing something similar. And in order to reach them, I feel like everybody has a social media area that they like the most. So I'm like, okay, if I just post everywhere, maybe they'll come over to here. And I don't know if that's true necessarily. I think people tend to stay in the social media area that they like. And then I'm just posting everywhere, just spending time doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's very time consuming.
It is. And people keep talking about SEOs. You have to get your SEO right. And I'm like, I know keywords. That's where my knowledge cuts off. And I think
I don't know what SEO is.
But I don't know. There's all this stuff. There's influencers. Like influencers are a thing now. Apparently, if you have enough of a following, people will pay you to keep your following going and mention their stuff.
Oh, yeah, like sponsorships and all of that.
Yeah, but they have a name now. Like it's a job now, influencer. And apparently they post 35 to 40 posts a day. And I'm exhausted just hearing that number.
Oh, my goodness.
I love your face right now. 35 to 40 posts a day.
Just for Instagram? Like,
just everywhere, anywhere, even just in one place.
Spam though. Like 40 is spam. Like that's too much. I thought you need like at least 2 posts to make it on Instagram or something per day. And that's still a lot. Like I have weeks where I don't use my Instagram because I'm just not inspired to put anything up there. I don't want to put up crap that is just going to spam the people that follow me and make them less likely to want to continue to follow me. So it's just like quality over quantity is my attempt, but for sure to make it. And I feel like you need to delegate all that to someone else. You need to be like, okay, your job is literally to post on this account for me. And these are the intervals of time that like you're have between. And there are programs that do that now too, but I refuse to do any of that right now. I just like I walk down the street here and I'm in a visual part of Asia. I could take like 20 pictures in 1 hour and they would all be interesting, not because of me, because of the place that I'm at. And I have to hold back because I refuse to post more than like 3 or 4 a day. Yeah. And I'm like 35 to 40 would even be hard where I am. Like, how
Like, that is your day. You have that goal of 35, and every day, just
it's insanity. And also, your online presence, I don't want it to overpower your real life presence. I don't want to not be present in my everyday life, which is why I don't like vlog in the traditional sense of like walking around with perhaps a friend, or like when I go to lunch to film a bit of that or whatever, because this is my time. Like, I'm eating, I'm going out to see my friends. Like, I don't want to share that with people. I just want to share what I've like planned to share. And I have a very like clear boundary for myself where I don't want it to take over my personal life. Like, it's something that I almost keep a secret from certain people who are in that like boundary of, you're a pretty good friend of mine, but you're not like really, really close to me. And it's really awkward for me to share with those people. Like, if a stranger, that's fine. I can be like, I'm an artist, I'm a creator, I'm a language learner, I'm a philosopher, I'm a poet. Like, I can say all this stuff and not feel ashamed. And I can share and be vulnerable with the people who are really, really close to me. But it's that like that sphere in the middle that I feel like vloggers are really confident to like share with that sphere of people, and I just can't. I can't like subject that part of my life to something so personal and like online and public as well. Like, it's
yeah. Well, okay, how did you get to this place? Did you make this decision before starting Intellect Grime, or did you kind of stumble and have to delete a few things because you went over the line? How did you find the line?
I think I've always known that was going to be my line. Whenever I saw like a vlogger or a vlog or whatever, I would see it and I'd be like, watching it, and it's fine for me to watch as an audience member because that's not my life. But I knew that that's the part of my life that I didn't want to share. It's literally like your journey to the doctor's office, or, your chill time after work. Like, why would you take that time away from yourself and put it out into the world for the public? Like, if like for you, for example, your channel, like if you're walking to a certain destination, you might find that as like a great opportunity to film a video, and that's fine because your videos are like, thematic. Like, you're talking about your language learning, you're talking about the country that you're living in, and like trying to access it more.
I'm not just lazy, I'm educating. Oh yeah. That's the excuse I use every time. There's China behind me, folks. Hey, there you go.
Yeah. That's like a great opportunity for you to like film a video. Whereas like a lot of people, maybe they wouldn't see it as an opportunity to film a video. They would be like, this is the video I'm going to make. It's all of my personal time, basically. And like, I'm going to show people all of my personal time. Like, it's as if you were to share like a night in with your husband or something. A very personal time to you, or like when you go out to your brunch group, that's something that you do for yourself, and it's not for the internet, but you would like share that on the internet. I just find that to be a bit too much. Like, that's just like a bit of a boundary crossed for me personally. I don't judge anybody who vlogs, but I can't do that.
I'm smiling because I'm like guilty, totally guilty. The project that had a stalker.
Oh yeah.
I really had one because I was too personal. I did share the inner workings of my culture shock in my first country in Asia in 2003. And I did share, very rarely, but I did share that I was dating X, Y, and Z person. Not details. I never did details, but I did mention, gotta go have a hot date, or like something like that. And that experience, that blog, that year was my stumble and fall, and let's just not put that online again kind of moment. I don't think I deserved the stalker because of that, but I definitely think I posted too much. Like, in the town that I was in, people would meet me and they'd go, "Oh, you're the blogger." And they were kind of hesitant to talk to me because they thought they'd end up in the blog, but I didn't describe people. I didn't use people's names, but they were like, what if? And then they all went on Facebook and had everything available for everybody else anyway. But whatever. Yeah.
It's really weird that, like, with Facebook, for some reason, oversharing is fine. But then when it comes to other platforms, oversharing will, like, subject you to a lot of, like...
Yeah. Well, you've got a very, very clear personal private life thing online, what is something that people can ask themselves when they go online to kind of create or know where their line is? Like is there something they can ask themselves to get that boundary?
Like, would I be comfortable either if a complete stranger knew this thing, or would I be comfortable if my parents or my family or just someone that I don't share everything with were to know all this information, like an uncle or a cousin or someone that you're not, maybe not like super close to, but again, not completely, like they know you, they already have a perception of you, and then you're adding to that perception. So would you be comfortable if X, Y, or Z person saw this? Yeah. And if there is an answer where like, no, I wouldn't be comfortable, ask yourself, why? Why aren't you comfortable with that? Like, what is it about this piece of information that makes you uncomfortable about that? And then maybe find that line.
Oh, you just created another business. Oh, this is great. In the top right-hand corner of computers, and maybe is this what's it called? The screen when your phone's off, like when you first come on.
Screensaver?
Yeah, maybe the screensaver or whatever it's called. You could have like a picture of someone, that person that you're talking about, and that could maybe remind people everything you do. Pretend like they can see it. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, that's good.
I was interviewed by this local book group in Shanghai last year, and they said the best interview question ever at the end. She said, what else should I ask people in future interviews? And I'm like, oh, I'm stealing that. What should I ask other people in future interviews? Again, kind of teasing out the people's VRLs as someone living overseas and their IRL, overseas life.
What have you learned from your online experience? And like, or have you ever taken like a break from your online experience for any reason, and why?
Yeah, I have heard people doing, oh my God, I can't believe that's not in this question. See, this is why this question is so brilliant. I give total and complete props to Wayme, who was the person who asked me that question a few months ago. Have you ever taken a break from your VRL? I'm putting it in the questions.
Nice.
Wait, what did you say that meant? Virtual
reality life. Like that was the idea. It's like,
I'm telling you, this is a thing.
It's awesome. It makes so much sense to me because I do think that social media and all of the stuff that we engage with online is a virtual reality, in the sense that if we just ignored it, life wouldn't change. Like life started from the point without all this online stuff.
It did. Well, okay. Oh, you just brought up another thing. Okay, this is the real last question. When people used to write about themselves, autobiographies and travel logs and anything kind of autobiographical, is that different than when we write about ourselves online?
I think you need just more time and more reflection and a wider scope to write something like an autobiography or a memoir, even, that's like supposed to be like at least a decade's worth of experience. I think you would write about in a memoir. Like, I don't see anyone writing a memoir at the age of like 20 unless they've been through some stuff. It's interesting because we are documenting ourselves. We are documenting a lot of what goes on in our heads, and just like in a very autobiographical way, we're sharing ourselves with others, which is what an autobiography is. But it's much more in the moment. Like, I feel like online is so immediate and instant, and you can just like Twitter is a great example. Twitter is a platform I've almost never been on. Like, again, it was fleeting, but it was a really interesting experience when I was on it, because it was like people are sharing so much, but it's like a tiny like quantity. It's just 120 characters, but then they get to, share as much as they want. Like, they could do several tweets if they wanted, or like in the moment they can just be like, I have this thought, I'm going to share it with people, and like send, and then it's off. And I don't know. It's an interesting question.
There's something about time, retro. What the hell is the word I'm thinking of? Introspection and time. I keep thinking of time. Oh, okay. So here's another business opportunity. If you were to create a social media app, I have lots of ideas, but I hate actually.
Awesome. You should, like, you sound very entrepreneurial. Like, you're like, business idea. Here's another business idea.
The ideal situation for that is if I could sell my ideas. Like, as far as like through with all of the grunt work, I'm so not that person. So listeners, sorry, 1 second. Listeners, if you if you want to follow through with any of the ideas, all I request is that you cite all of my projects. That's it. I don't need any financial back or anything. I just want credit. Just my Weebly site for I just say, Anyway, so the opportunity. I know there's programs that exist where you can pre-schedule the tweets and the Instagram posts and those kinds of things in advance. But what if there was something you could put on your phone, not to block the internet or to tell you how many times you started it, although I'm very intrigued by that app, but to intentionally, like every time you try to post, it waits a certain amount of time, whether it be a day, 5 days, a week, a month, or it intentionally won't let you post immediately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like how the real world works with like delayed gratification.
Right? Like sending a letter to someone.
A lot of the things we've posted. Because sometimes I look back at stuff I've made and I'm like, cringe, I wish I hadn't shared that so immediately. But then also the immediacy allows us to like bypass a lot of the confidence issues we have and stuff, because so many of us are like anxiety ridden or like we don't really believe in ourselves and stuff as women as well, which is one of the reasons we're not the majority of people online, even though we're half of the population of the planet. But like we're so anxiety ridden and we wouldn't post unless it was immediate. And so maybe that social media like app wouldn't be very successful because people they've gotten used to instant gratification, and instant gratification in a lot of ways has allowed people to just share, just like do it, get it over with. You don't have to think about it again. Who checks their Twitter accounts after they've posted something? Like, I don't know who actually goes back like a year ago. What was I posting about? No idea. And so it's not like Twitter maybe shouldn't be considered an autobiographical thing, because it's something that it just almost immediately like fades away. There is this like catalog of all the things that you've ever posted, like that you could potentially access, but almost no one does access it. Right. So
we're starting to do that on one of my other podcasts, but yeah, other than that, generally speaking, no. And it's interesting because I haven't. I'm in this constant stream of now, like things that are happening, people I want to communicate with now. Like I don't even look back that much on my own posts, but I feel like if I did, it would give me a sense of what would be going on, even though I don't necessarily post super personal stuff anymore. I feel like the articles that I retweeted, the pictures of the locations or what I'm taking a picture of at that time might say something about where I was, what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, so the delayed release app would only be for men because they're over.
No, I mean, I don't know. The most confident of people, I think, would have the delayed. Either the most confident or the people with like just future thinking skills, like people who really know what they want to say and they still believe in the thing like 2 months later, and they don't just like want to say whatever they can say in the moment because they have access to they have an ability to say whatever they want. The internet is just, and it's a baby. It's still so young, and like I always thought that I started YouTube way too late. I wish I was born like 10 years before I was, so that I could be part of the like starting up of YouTube. But we're still at such an early stage of the internet. It hasn't even been half a century since it properly got started. So
and you missed a few years of kitten videos. Like it was awful at first. It was really, really bad.
No, kitten videos are amazing. What are you talking about?
Okay, I like
still the best content on YouTube.
But honestly, there's only so many kitten videos that need to be viewed in any given day.
We post so many. I don't actually know the statistic for this, but how many like new like pieces of like digital files are posted online every single day? But it's probably in the billions. Like there's so many people just posting stuff online, and it's there now, and it's
so crazy. where is this going to go? Where is this going to go? Are we going to continue at this pace? Or do you think we'll get bored with it?
I'm bored with it. I'm bored with some of it. I'm ready to discontinue my Facebook, my Facebook presence completely. I'm actually deactivating my account as soon as this podcast ends. I'm just gonna be going on Facebook.
Oh my God.
And although May did not leave the internet or this conversation abruptly, intentionally, we actually got disconnected right after that. I tried to piece together something and my internet did not work the day that we were scheduled to patch the end of this puppy up. So I'm just going to leave this brief message thanking May for being on here and being very generous with her time and her ideas. I'm going to link all of the information that we talked about in the show notes, including May's YouTube channel, Intellect Grime, and I strongly suggest going over there and checking her out. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Virtual Expat, and special thank you again to Damon Castillo for the music and to our special guest this time. If you'd like to be interviewed for this podcast, just send me an email or contact me on social media. In the show notes, you can find all my information, or you can just jot it down right now. Are you ready? Here we go. Steph Fuccio, StepHuccio, Gmail, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. There you go. Contact me. Oh, also LinkedIn too. You know what? I keep forgetting about that one. Hey, thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to your questions, comments, feedback, any information, and volunteering to be on the podcast as well. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day, on or offline.
At Pluralsight, they believe everyone should have the opportunity to create progress through technology. Pluralsight is a tech workforce development company that provides the solutions that high-performing engineering teams need to tackle today's biggest challenges. Whether you need to build the skills, individuals, and teams to tackle mission-critical projects, drive cloud transformation, or help software teams ship reliable, scalable, and secure code, you can harness the collective power of hindsight, foresight, and insight with Pluralsight. Check them out today at pluralsight.com/vision.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
You know what's wrong with health and fitness? You weaponize it against yourself. Why didn't you go to the gym today? You're so lazy. Why did you eat that? You have no self-control. Stop it. At Beachbody, we think training and caring for your body in a way that works best for you should be about loving yourself. Let us help you without all the judgment. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.